The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally produced on October 7th, 2020, under the constellation of Libra, in the mental week, examining through the solar plexus. Me. From my center, a light projected everywhere, expanding in the rays of my heart. Each heartbeat pumped like blood, pink and blue. Through each arm, they found their way out of my hands, spilling into the smaller rays of color, which emerged from my fingers like soft spotlights. My hands were in front of my face, like an open book. The palms of my hands had my stories written, everything I was, what I am and will be, what I did, do, and will do, are traced in the lines that intersect like a fabric or strange language. Similarly, the light cast by my fingers mixed together, creating patterns of a beautiful, expanding grid, growing wider as they moved away from me. I felt like a weaver, who I moved, his fingertips gently tensed the webs of light. I could also seem to be a puppeteer from the perspective of someone who feels imprisoned by the light, who moves the reins of history and reality, and yet for me, his sweet sensation was that of an exciting harp that emitted the fullest music, and quiet that I could not have heard. He felt each string intertwined and touched something even more beautiful, and although some were tense, they did nothing more than show me the contrast and complement of the melody. I felt that I was everything that was projected, and I felt peace. I am the essence in the personality. Me. Yes, I realized that. When I sat in the pyramid, I asked myself, what will today's topic be? And those two words came out of nowhere when looking deep inside the sarcophagus. And then, as I sat down and I saw and I felt all of this, the information began to open up, and it was clear. For humans, personality is what defines us in this world. It is what makes us show ourselves to others. We define individuals precisely by their personality, which is the quality of being a person. But we also often say that personality is just a mask, something not real, that we invent it to interact with the outside, something that opposes what we really are, the essence. So when we get tired of holding on to personality, we start looking inside for the essence, what one really is without masks. And that is when we discovered the spiritual path toward the essence, toward the being, trying to escape from the personalities, from what we consider the ego. But it's not like that, right? I am. Personality comes from the Greek term person, which means mask, as we said once. It refers to the mask used in Greek theaters that allow people to be heard from afar, as well as allowing the audience to identify from a great distance the emotion that the character was expressing. Thus, the capabilities of the mask were to show the qualities of a human, the attributes with which he expressed himself to the world. You can also relate person with to sound from Latin, that is, a tool to be heard. Thus, the mask, as an individual puts it on, is the one that allows them to communicate something internal to the external world, to be heard, recognized, that they can see from afar and know who you are. Me. This is why we usually say, let's take off our mask. This is a character, and other similar phrases that saying that everything is really a pantomime, a falsehood. Who's behind the mask? Or he hides behind a mask. We usually think that when we want to refer to what he shows us is not what he is, and even so, we usually criticize those who take off the mask, saying, "You've changed your personality. I no longer recognize you. You're not the one from before." And those inevitable perceptions of people who were used to the mask. So, in the end, people, what are they really looking for? I am. They look for the essence, but may confuse essence with personality. And the reason is simple. Essence comes from the word estia, which means in Latin the quality of being, and since it arises from the verb esse, which in turn comes from the contraction es of the Greek root etymos, which means real. If personality is considered a mask, something false, then the being, the essential, will be the true. Me. I have heard that many times the essence is related to something subtle, as if it were a kind of perfume of the soul. So it's not that, but it's something more conceptual. I am. It is the capacity or the quality of simply being, with nothing more to add. A flower is a flower, period. The personality of a flower will be its colors, its petals, its shapes, its patterns, its pistils, its medicinal qualities, its size. But when you look at all of the details, sometimes you forget that it's a flower. Now, think of an extreme example. A young man in the park laughing out loud, being watched by a rapist who is looking for him as his victim. What do they have in common? Me, essence? I am. What is the essence? Me, the spirit that connects everything? I am. It's much simpler. Essence is what it is. A flower is a flower. It can be a daisy or a carnivore. Me, human. They are both human. I am. Good. They are both human. And in the interior, then, they have the qualities of every human. None of them is missing. They are all there because they simply are. Now, their paths have decorated their form and the way they express themselves in the world, their falsehoods. Perhaps the young man who laughs in the park laughs to cover up a great pain at something he did or hides from his family. And the rapist carries the mental pathology for precisely the same reason, a painful childhood trauma. Both have handled it differently. They are different people. One laughs hiding something, the other violates fighting something. But they are both human, which means that they both can return to the essence and recover, rebuild from scratch, heal, return to the center, recover the inner essence of their being, where lies all of the potential of the human. Art, music, letters, psychology, philosophy, spirituality, science, culture, everything is there. You can choose again, and when you seek the essence, but judge people by their personalities, then you have not understood what essence is. The Pope, the Queen of England, the President of the United States, the richest billionaire in the world, the poorest child in the world, the most consistent activist on earth, the human rights defender, the school teacher, a father, a mother in a country, in a world, a newborn baby, they are all human. It is the essence, nothing more. Just as a flower is a flower. Before the eyes of nature, of the cosmos, of God or the goddess, whatever you want to call it, they are only humans and flowers. Me. That is why the universe does not judge, because the universe only sees the essence of things. The rest is temporary and modifiable from the potential of the essence. I am. The mask is the attribute chosen by each being to express its essence onto the world. Some scream, some cry, some get angry. Each personality was designed from the experiences of what they want to tell. Each lived story is different. Imagine that your mask used to be a formless plaster mold, and for everything you lived, everything you do, feel, everything that happens in your life, you take a knife and you carve a new shape in it. During the days, months, and years, your mask will be taken the form of everything that has happened to you, not of a single thing or an idea that you have had in a single day. It's like making a drawing over 80 years, each day adding a new stroke with different colors. It may not end up being what you expected. The personality that we see in people today was not formed in a moment by its own decision, but in the essence carving into that mask for a lifetime. And if the being lives an incoherent and misaligned life out of harmony and resonance, the result will be an erratic, disordered, and difficult to understand. Me. Essence, then, is not something that is behind the mask of personality, but personality is an extension of essence. I am. The essence contains everything that is, the potential of everything, and from there it expands the necessary attributes for each circumstance. This is how personality is shaped. They are not opposites. The personality, the ego, they are the tools that filter and generate information for the essence, like the tentacles of an octopus, like the branches and leaves toward the trunk of a tree. For this reason, the universe does not judge, but rather seeks a way for the essence to return to its axis, me. So the task is not to leave the personality or to go beyond it to return to the essence, but what is really important is to make the essence find its axis through coherence. For this, it is necessary to re-educate the being. I am. That is called divine justice. One of the key themes of the Libra is this justice, putting everything in balance. Human spiritual justice rewards the essence and punishes the personality. Human social justice rewards the good and punishes the bad. Divine justice educates the essence, the being. Only in this way can a possible rapist recognize his pain and return to his childhood to rebuild his life from the wounded child inside toward a new human being. Only from there, the young man who laughs out loud will be able to face his fear, to cry, to get rid of the weight, and to be able to laugh freely without hiding his pain. Real justice balances, harmonizes, seeks coherence, education of the potential of the being. Real justice never separates good from evil, never orders opposing groups, never removes one to give to another, never punishes and rewards others. Me. The personality is the indicator of the shortcomings of this essence, or rather, it is the visible part of the expressed inconsistencies of the being. I am. They are the thermometer against a disease. Personality is decoration and medicine, pollen and nectar of a flower, and yet withered or alive, it is a flower. Going back to the essence means remembering that beyond labels, projections, prejudices, what we think that we are, and what others think that we are, there is a starting point that connects us all, and from where we can take our power back to start over and to bloom like every spring. Me. So I must find my essence through the attributes of my personality, because there are paths that guide me toward it, toward what I really am, because the essence builds what the world sees of me, and entering into coherence, it is how I can transform myself from the essence. I am. Take off your mask, and do not throw it away, but to observe what you, by your own hands, have created. Smile at it. Look in the mirror and design a new mask from your essence. Me. What is my homework for today? I am. That's right. Draw your essence. The design, the mask with which you want to show yourself to the world. Only in this way will you be free from the personality, because now that you know that it is you who have created it, now you know that you are the flower that emanates that perfume. produced this nectar and radiates this color. Me, I am the essence that expands my personality. I am the justice that educates the essence to build a world of coherent people. I am a flower in an infinite floral garden.